The Fiddler on the Roof was Robbins' last original Broadway staging. He had grown tired of the highly collaborative process of musical theater and returned to ballet where he could once again have complete control. He did, however, direct and choreograph the revue Jerome Robbins Broadway in 1989, an anthology of his works which won the Tony Award for Best Musical. His later works in ballet included Glass Pieces, a suite of dances, the Goldberg Variations, and Dances at a Gathering.
In ballets like Glass Pieces or Goldberg Variations and something like Moves, where they're very simple costumes, it's fascinating to watch him with the details. And he would see two guys with green tights on standing next to each other, and he immediately would change that. Or when I first did Goldberg Variations, I remember he switched the two principals in the first section. He tried peach on them, yellow, green, whatever looked good on each woman, he finally chose. So that attention to detail was really interesting to see.
The things I find special about Jerry's work are the character-driven emphasis of the choreography. Any of his ballets, even if Dances at a Gathering, when I worked on that with him, it was all about relationships. How are you relating to the person? What's going on between you? This is a light dance where you're having fun. This is a serious moment. It was always driven by an emotional and a character-driven initial impetus, which I always responded to well.
He liked to demonstrate. He was dancing to the very end. He wanted to really experience his thoughts through his body, and it was evident always that he was an exceptional dancer himself. This piece, it's very internal. It's like looking at himself in the mirror and just marking it, and then music draws the dancer in. Choreographers are lonely people.
Sadly, after a bicycling accident and a heart valve transplant, Robbins began to show signs of Parkinson's disease, and his health began to deteriorate. On July 29, 1998, Jerome Robbins died after a massive stroke. But even after his death, he continued to influence those he had worked with.
One thing I find myself quite often thinking about, if Jerry was still alive today, I see especially some of these young men that get in the company. And also one of the things that's really amazing about Robbins' works are he makes the men look amazing on stage. There's some really great, and even not even solos, but group male dances for males. And I look at some of these young men that get in the company, and I just go, what would he have done with them?
And I always feel a sense of missing that going over and over again until you get it exactly right. Not almost right, or not right once, but exactly right every time.
A man who was writing a book, who will be nameless, who called and said, I'm writing this book about Jerome Robbins, and tell me about the time he made you cry. And I said, he did not ever make me cry, because I knew where he was going, about the monstrous behavior of Jerry Robbins. But Jerry Robbins never really made me cry. But now that he's gone, I cry every day.
The legacy left behind by Robbins is unmatched. Terry Teachout of the New York Times wrote, Robbins sought to turn the humble musical theater comedy into something approaching a totally unified work of art. And he did just that. To learn more about Jerome Robbins and other musical theater icons, visit www.curtainsup.edu. If that link doesn't work, it's probably because the website doesn't exist. Thanks for tuning in.